My name's Domenic. I haven't been here for a while. I've kind of took the summer off. I'm here with Sherique Dill. She is our personal finance coach, and we're going to talk about money. We're going to be doing a Q&A. I'm going to be asking her some questions. Q&A here in the network. And I want to say hello and welcome, Sherique. How you doing?
Hello, Domenic. I am doing wonderful. I'm definitely excited to be here on your show once again.
I know it's been a while. I think it was been like, what, 4 months, maybe 5.
Yes, it has.
I know. So, okay. So for those of you who are going to watch, I'm here in Chicago, and Sherique is in the beautiful island of Bahama, in the Bahamas. Why did they say Bahamas? Are there more than one island?
No, the Bahamas is a small country, but we have at least 700 islands and keys. So I am on the beautiful island of New Providence, Nassau, New Providence.
Wow. Amazing. Would you please go back? So, for those of you who are listening, Sherique was our person behind the passion. I found her on Facebook in a Facebook group, and she does lots of amazing things. You introduce yourself to us so we can kind of get a reminder of who you are and what you do. So, you're in the Bahamas, and
Okay, I am in the Bahamas and I am a writer. First, I am a writer and author
sure.
of, I think it's 4 published books so far. I am a personal finance coach. I love to teach people and train people about finances, how to manage their personal finances. I am also a trainer. I develop courses and I teach people how to be great in their personal lives. So I teach people about personal development and personal success.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the basis of what I do.
So, and you've been doing this for quite a while now, right?
Yes, I've been doing this for quite a while. I would say about 8 to almost 10 years.
Wow. And you started doing that because I can't remember now, you started working in for one of the government agencies. No, am I wrong?
Yes, I started professionally my career. I worked in the Ministry of Education. Education, yes.
Okay, Ministry of Education. Great. So you're there in the beautiful Bahamas. You have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. You're married, and everything. Life is butterflies and roses and wonderful, right? Rainbows.
Life is wonderful. It comes with its challenges, especially during this time. But I am so grateful and just thankful for life. I'm just thankful for being able to be here on this planet, being able to breathe in divine oxygen and just live and be able to share my gift with the world.
Yeah. And we appreciate that so much because it's so needed. I know that now during this time in the world, 2021, there's like inflation going on and people are freaking out. And I mean, I'm nervous and worried, and there's all kinds of things happening in the world. And like for me, my personal circumstances that I have money and I have some investments and I have some sitting in a bank doing nothing, and I like that worries me. And then thinking about the stock market crashing and the value of my home going down and all these different things, and where can I protect the money? Should I buy gold? But there's no gold. There's, I mean, it's just there's so many decisions to make. I wish I just had one of these. Unfortunately,
Okay,
it's not real.
exactly.
It's not real. I was thinking about this because one of my kids gave this to me. It's $1 trillion bill, and I
It,
thought, if I actually had one, where would I take it to cash it, to break it down into smaller bills? I couldn't even take it to the U.S. Treasury because they don't have any money.
okay.
Anyway, well, thank you for being here. I just wanted to show one more quick thing here. People may recognize this as the wheel of life. And this is a tool that I've been using for years, and it's all these different areas of life. And what I do with my students is that I have them rate the area of their life in terms of like how satisfied they are from 0 to, I think it's 10. Yeah, from 0 to 10. And then, most of the time it's really interesting because on here is money. Where is it at? Right there. Okay. And most of the time, when people rate this area of their life, money, it's usually low. And I was wondering why do you think that? I mean, low wages, of course, but I'm talking about satisfaction. Some people may have some money, or they may have money, but they're not satisfied. What's up with that? Do you think?
Well, I don't think it's because they don't have a means to money. I think it's because they don't have the skills to effectively manage their money. That is the problem. A lot of people, they get the money, they have a means to it, they're doing well financially in regards to earning money. But the problem is they do not know how to manage their money properly so that they can achieve their goals. And so that's the key. You must get a financial education and be able to make smart and wise decisions so that you can manage the money that you make, or the money that comes into your life, that flows into your hands.
Yeah. And it's such a gigantic topic. I mean, there's so many aspects to money. It's not just a simple dollar sign. When I was younger, I didn't really think about what am I going to do if I ever retire, right? And how much money do I need to retire? And what about all this excess money? And it's more really, I think for me, and I think for a lot of people that I know, talk to, you're right. It's about managing that money. We get the money, and then what do we do with it, right? And like I have a lot of people in my life that they have their money invested into 401ks. They have money invested in properties and I mean, there's lots of things to invest in, but the stock market is one thing. But what are some of the things that you talk about with your clients that in general help them to begin to go in the right direction?
Well, the top thing for me is cash flow. That's the most important thing in finances. Having a cash flow, meaning that you have a plan in place where you have money working for you without you really having to work for it. Okay. For example, when you have a job, you have to go to work, or you have to work 1 hour, paid 1 hour. So you are going and working for money. But when you develop the mindset of having cash flow, you of course have to complete the principal thing once, and then that thing continuously work for you. So the key is, what can you do with your money? What could you put your money into that is going to continuously work for you? For example, um, as an author or as a person that creates courses, right? I develop the course one time, and then I can sell that course over and over again. I don't have to work and do it anymore. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the cash flow is flowing. But the key is you need consistent cash flow. And the best way, one of the best ways of consistent cash flow is, of course, dividends, of course, property, having rental property. Because once you have an apartment or you have something that you can rent to someone, and that is consistently making money for you without you having to actually do anything. Okay, so it's consistently having cash flow into your pocket. So that is the key.
And it's interesting that you say that. I've never had my own rental properties, and I know people that do. And some people are like, I love it. It's great. It's a little bit of work, but it's wonderful. It does bring in that cash flow. And then other people are like, oh, it was a big pain, and it was a lot of problems. And I mean, this is, I think, what we have to think about when we think of risk. One of the things that I invested in many years ago, like in 2006, were a couple of health clubs, and it was membership driven. And we had in the beginning didn't have any cash flow because we were still paying off our loans. And then we got to a break even point, and then we had cash flow, and it was great. Went on a cruise, everything was wonderful, put money in the bank, and everything was great until 2009, when we had the housing crisis and I went bankrupt.
Well, of course, with investment, there is always some level of risk. Okay, and so when you dive into the world of investment, you have to dive into it knowing that there is some level of risk. But the only way to protect your money is to try to double it and triple it. So you have to get into the world of investment. There's no getting around it. For example, Warren Buffett called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Okay. And so this is what the banks use to become wealthy. So the banks use it, and you can use it as well as an individual. You can find some ways to lend your money to somebody and use the principle of compound interest to gain money for you. It's so many ways that you can do it. But the principle of investment is allowing your money to work for you and to double and to triple and keep multiplying. So it comes with some level of risk. Whatever investment you dive into, it comes with some level of risk. But when you have knowledge and when you have skills and you have the education that you need, it will lessen the risk. It will not take it away, but it will lessen it. It would cause it to be small than large.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you say that. I mean, there's always a level of risk and compound interest. And so what I think about is that there are certain areas of my financial health, if you will, that they're very solid and secure. I feel great about them. And then there's a few areas where they're not. And I feel unprepared in that area. So why is it important to prepare? And do you think that a lot of people avoid that preparation because they just don't know what to do?
When you say prepare, you're speaking about in regards to saving and being, that's what you're talking about, like being prepared for emergency. I mean, being prepared. Give me some more detail as to exactly what you mean.
Well, okay, so I mean, there at that level, yes, there's preparing for something that could potentially go wrong. We should have, I don't even know what the numbers are, but I'm sure you know, like how much money we should have just in case of an emergency, have it liquid cash available. But then, like in terms of like what's happening in the world today, in a bigger picture, why is it important to prepare?
Well, in regards to what's happening in the world today, you must be prepared. Okay, and this is why having an emergency fund and being careful with how you spend your money is extremely important, because when disaster happens, such as what's happening now with you hear on the news about things being scarce, you hear about inflation, things getting so costly, and so you're actually spending more money. Okay, so the value of your money is decreasing, and so you have to be prepared for these types of things. People are afraid because they don't want to be responsible and they don't want to be accountable, and they just want to ignore what's happening. But ignorance has nothing to do with reality. It is what it is. And only those who are prepared and who have a plan. In my classes, I love to teach people about developing plans and setting goals. You should already have a plan. You can't sit down and say, well, I'm not gonna buy anything or prepare for what's happening, or I'm not gonna worry about inflation, because whether you do it or not is going to happen. You can see the signs of it happening. So whether it happens or not, you should be prepared. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I think people don't want to accept responsibility. They just want the easy way out. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it. But there's no easy route to success.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, one of the things that I've thought about, especially now that the inflation rate is starting to really creep up there, and it's getting to a point where it's scary. Like I think about this. Help me to like expand this. Like, so if I put all of my financial information into a computer, there's like going to be a number that either goes up or goes down. So like I've got this much money over here, and I've got this much money over here, and this is my savings, and this is my checking, and this final balance is moving up and down all the time. You know, if I could combine all those figures into one computer and then have this number and watch it on my phone screen, it'd be going up and down and up and down. And I'm worried that don't if I'm not, I mean, if I my like this money that's sitting in this account doing nothing, I know that my bottom line is decreasing. Even though I have income coming in, that bottom line is still going down because I'm not I mean, the inflation is higher than the amount of interest that I'm making, the compound interest, right? So I'm going backwards in some areas. So how do I plan?
Yes.
What are some ways to beat inflation?
But see, the thing is, most people, we like to just take our money and stick it in the bank, right? Which makes absolutely no sense. So what I suggest is that, well, most financial experts suggest that you save at least 6 to 9 months of income for emergencies. Okay, that's an emergency fund. Just in case something happens, you have enough cushion, financial cushion, to support that emergency. So once you have already funded that account, there's no need to just keep stocking and stocking monies there, because most banks only pay you about 3% of interest a year on having that money there. So if inflation is 5% for that year, then your money was just eaten up by inflation. So that means that what the money was worth last year isn't worth it now, because inflation has eaten it up and it's just sitting there and it's not moving. Currency is designed to move. So what you have to do is make sure that you have your cushion, your financial emergency fund set up, and then you need to find ways on how you can get your money to move and work for you. Okay, you can invest in paper stocks, you can invest in oil, gold, Bitcoin. These are investments. You can invest in, like I said, land, real property, anything that is an asset and that's going to cause your money to be more, to double up, or you can get more value for your money. There's so many ways. For me, for example, I love the Forex market. Okay, so what I do is I take some of my funds and I put it into the Forex market, and I buy or sell depending on what's happening in the market. So sometimes you can put in, just say, for example, crude oil. Okay, crude oil is, I love to trade crude oil, right? A few days ago, or about a week or two ago, crude oil was $77, right? Now it's broken up into $85. So if you would have put some money into buying that crude oil, being bullish on that trade, then that is an opportunity for you to make a huge investment on that. So for example, you trade per pip, let's say 50 cents a pip, and you could have came out with a lot of money. For example, it depends on how far the crude oil price would have moved. On $50 a pip, you could have gained about $200 just on trading $50 a pip. Okay, wow. So that is a way of getting more for your money, as opposed to just putting it in the bank, because that is massive interest of gain, on your money. So these are ways that you can find, these are things that you can do to find ways on getting more for your money. But of course, it comes with some risk, and I had to be trained on trading so that you can know what you are doing and you don't just lose money. So once again, it comes back to financial education.
So do you do training on trading?
I don't teach people no, I don't teach it. But
Okay.
I went to an actual school to learn how to trade properly, which most
Mm,
people don't do. They jump into the forex market and they lose a lot of money and then they lose hope in it. It's because they didn't know what they were doing. But once you understand how the market works, you understand the candles, you understand how to buy and how to sell, it could give you a good potential.
hmm And that's one of the things, like when I open up some of my accounts, like I've got a Schwab account, right? So when I open up the account, I can move my money around and do different things. But most of the time, I don't, because I don't know what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
it's like the software is complicated, and I've got a million other things to do, so I might as well just let it ride. And that this is something that I definitely know that I need help in, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's, probably most of the population, you know, is in a similar situation where they don't actually know what to do. And so you have these courses on Teachable, right?
Skillshare
Skillshare, okay,
and Udemy.
and Udemy, okay,
Yes.
okay. And so let's go back a little bit. So you were talking about investing in crude oil, and are these physical assets?
It's a
Is that
commodity. It's
a
a
commodity?
commodity. See, with the forex market, it's different than investing into the stock market, right? But the stock market, when you put, for example, if you buy a particular stock in a company, just say you put your investment of $100 into a company, right? The normal way, right? Depending on whether the company stocks go up or down, let's say that it goes down, you can lose your money and you don't have any control over what happens, right? In
Hmm.
the forex market, you can do everything from your computer. So if you see that you are losing money and you don't want to lose $100 or whatever, you can cancel that trade right away. So it's better controlled in the forex market.
Hmm.
You got me? It's better
Okay.
controlled. Yes, you can do everything from a computer. You're not depending on anybody else when you go into the forex market. So you can trade Bitcoin, you can trade Netflix stocks. It's not physically yours. You're just buying it and selling it. It's like an instant trade
Hmm.
when you do it like that. But
Yeah.
another thing that I didn't mention, but silver, I also like to trade. I buy silver. Gold is also wonderful, but silver, a lot of people leave silver out, and silver is a great commodity. Right now, it's not too expensive, but the industrial companies use silver a lot, so that is also a good thing to invest in silver. Okay, it's physical assets. You don't
Okay.
want to just take all, you have to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to take all of your money and put it into paper stock or all of your money into commodities or put all of your money into land or real property. You have to diversify it so that when one crashes, you still have an opportunity to gain money.
Hmm. So
So
give
you
us
have
some
to hit
examples.
all of the parts, all the different parts of investments.
Okay. Give us some examples of what physical assets are. You just mentioned silver and gold, and there's all those different elements. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, physical asset is like purchasing silver and having that hard physical coin in your possession. Because of course there are many ways that you can invest in silver. You can buy a silver stock, but you don't actually own the silver. You just trade it, like I mentioned earlier on the forex exchange. Like you can go into forex right now and buy silver or sell silver, but that doesn't mean that you are getting the physical asset. Okay, so the physical asset is when you invest into something and you have that asset into your hand. Like you actually have the silver coin, you actually have the silver gold, the gold coin. Okay, you actually have gold. You purchase oil in a particular company and it belongs to you, you can do these things. Okay, you actually own land because you can also invest in real property over the computer. You don't have to actually own it, but you're just, it's just trading and exchanging on the computer. But you want to actually buy a piece of land or own an apartment. That's physical. That is what physical is.
And
Having it in your possession.
Right, and all that's tied to the what am I trying to say? Like when you mentioned Bitcoin is not attached to any particular currency. Where regular assets, regular U.S. currency, any other Egyptian currency, that's attached to their system, right?
Yes.
Whereas Bitcoin
is like the hottest thing on the market right now. It actually smashed $60,000 for one coin. Okay, so Bitcoin is definitely doing big things. Crypto is on fire right now because everybody's losing confidence in the dollar, in the currency, because of what's happening right now in the world. But the thing with the Bitcoin and the crypto is it is digital. Okay, it is digital money. If the computer or the internet crashes, you don't have access to Bitcoin. You don't have access to Ethereum. Anything can happen these days. Okay, when it is a disaster. And so you can't just put everything into Bitcoin and to crypto because, like I said, you don't have any control over it. It's digital, it's on the computer. Whereas if you have a silver coin, if you have a gold coin, it's in your possession and you have control over it. The key is to have control.
Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, I'm sitting here, my brain is just going in all these different directions, and I hope that the people who watch this, they can relate to this because it's such a big undertaking, and it's so confusing. Where do you recommend people to start? Like, okay, let's just use me as an example. I've got some money in investments, and then I've got some money sitting over here, in a bank that's doing nothing, right? It's getting small amount of interest. So if I wanted to learn more about what I should do with that money over here, what would you recommend?
Well, we didn't speak about opening a business. That's also a way that's also a good investment because of course, when you have a business, you make more than what you put in. So if you like to do something or you're good at something, opening a business is a good thing to do. I like to tell people about educational platforms because today, if you know something like what we're doing now, if you know something, it's so easy to make money. That's your business. You don't even have to have a principal or initial investment really financially. If you know how to do something, you can just have a phone, shoot a course and put it on a platform and sell it. That's a business. Okay, and it keeps making money for you over and over. So you have to find things that you are comfortable with. You have to find things that you can manage. Okay, if you're not good at forex market, you don't want to jump into it and just lose money. The key is not to lose. The key is to win. The key is to double on your money, not lose your money. So the first thing that you should do is start to get the education and the knowledge on certain things, and whatever you stick to, whatever you find yourself more interested in, that's the way to go. So that's the key, to be comfortable, because once you have the knowledge, then it kinds of lessen your risk, and you will be able to make better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And did we speak about dividends, high yield dividend stocks and bonds? There are so many ways. There are a lot of ways. Bonds are actually, they carry more low risk than stocks. So if you are a person that is not interested in high risk, then maybe going the route of investing in bonds would probably be better for you. So whatever works for you, you have to find your niche. You have to find what you are comfortable with. You have to know what your level of risk is, and then you go from there. So you have to do your homework. You have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. And that is what you have, the courses that you've developed that are they're for sale now that you're using to draw more income from there.
Yes, yes. I have a course called How to Make Money Work for You. I have a course that's teaching people how to reduce their credit card debt. And also I'm a coach. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. So I also coach people one-on-one. If you have a problem or a situation and you feel as if you need some help in your financial area, I also do that as well. And I kind of guide you. I don't make the decision for you. I don't tell you what to do because I'm not financial planner. I am a coach. I give you the information, I give you the knowledge, and then I allow you to make your own decisions.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So where, let me just ask you, so where can we, I know you can tell us the website, but when we go to Udemy or to, what's the other one?
Skillshare.
Skillshare, thank you. Can we type it into the thread here? Because this is right now is going to the Self Achievement Network and also to my YouTube channel. So
Can I type in here? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can. You tell me if it's going to come through. I'm going to try and type it here. You
yeah,
let
go
me
ahead.
know if you see it. This is just the main page, but you would have to search my name. Did you see it?
Not yet.
I see it. I see it here. It says it's there.
Okay, I'm not seeing it yet. Because it should show up in my whatever that's called over there, that thread.
It's to the bottom. Do you see anything to the bottom on the thread?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see it.
I just typed in test just to see what happens. Tell me if you can see that word.
Okay. Maybe when you post it, you'll see it.
Well,
So
I
it's
just
still,
typed in test and I can see it. So I don't know if you can see it on your end.
I can see it.
You can. The word test.
Oh, you mean what you typed? No, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. Let me go to the Facebook group and the thread that I just put. We're going to see if it showed up there. Well, if not, we can add it there inside the group after we hang up. But I want people
Yeah,
to understand that there's help out there. And
yeah.
so in terms of your courses, are they real expensive? How does that work?
No, they're not expensive at all. Actually, I love Skillshare, and the reason why I love Skillshare is that all you have to pay is $12. I think it's $12.99 a month. And once you pay that, you can watch anything that you want on Skillshare. There are thousands and thousands of courses on Skillshare. So all you have to do is become a member. You pay $12.99 a month, and you can watch an unlimited amount of things. You can learn. There's no excuse to not know anything today. There is no excuse because the information is there. The prices, I mean, it doesn't even cost much anymore to learn things. You can just enroll into an online class today for barely, little to nothing. So that's all it costs you, $12.99. And you can watch it. Just look for Sherique Dill on Skillshare.
So inexpensive. I mean, I didn't even know that myself. So Skillshare, and it's Skillshare, one word.
Yes.
Okay,
Skillshare.
so here's when after we were done, because we've been on for 35 minutes, so I think that we should end. But I mean, I want to do this again like soon because this is great. So if we can direct people for $12.99, that's nothing. That's cheap. So they can go and find your courses under your name, Sherique Dill, Sherique Dill, Dill, and then the other one is Udemy. That's set up a little bit different, right?
Udemy is set up a little bit different. Yes, you will have to pay for the course for whatever I listed for. So it's much different.
Okay. So the inexpensive way to go is Skillshare.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Because
All right.
you just need to become a member. And also, I want to highlight my channel on YouTube as well. It's called
Please.
Wealth Building Academy. I will probably send you the links and then you can just forward it into your network so people can click on it. I'll send you my personal link on Skillshare so that people can click on it. But I also have a channel on YouTube called SD Wealth Building Academy where I have a few videos there. I need to put some more videos there. I haven't had a chance to do it because I've been so busy doing other things and developing other courses. But what I do is I upload information for free. And so you can just go and watch some of the videos that I have there. I'm talking about emergency fund. I'm talking about a money mindset. And before we go, Domenic, that is very important because I hear people say things like, I don't want to be wealthy or I don't care to be wealthy. I just want to be comfortable. Or they feel bad when it comes to, they don't have a good mindset when they hear the word wealth or rich. Okay. And it's because a lot of how we've been trained, we've been trained to hear the things like rich people are bad, or, we hear all of these negative things about money and these negative things about wealth. And if you don't change your mindset, and this is what I tell people, you have to change your mindset. If you say to the universe, I only want to be comfortable, then the universe will give you what you ask for. So you have to be careful what you say, and you have to be careful of the type of energy that you put out into the universe. Okay. And so, what is your mindset? I want to say to the audience today, what is your mindset about money? Do you feel guilty? Do you feel as if you're not worthy of being wealthy? You're not worthy of abundance? You're not worthy of prosperity? What is your mindset? Because you will attract to you what you are. You will attract to you whatever you put out into the universe. So if you don't have a good mindset, if you don't understand the power of money, then you'll never have it. You'll get it and it will flow out of your hands because you don't know what to do with it. You have to know how to do with it. You have to change your mindset about money. When you change your mindset, it will begin to work for you. Then you'll have the abundance. Then you'll have the prosperity. Then you'll be able to achieve the things that you want because of how you think. So I just want to say that to the audience today. Check your mindset. Check your mindset. You are worthy of riches and wealth. There's no one person on this earth that deserves to be wealthy or deserves to be better than the next. No, all of us are kings and queens, and all of us can have what we want, but we will only have what we believe.
That's great. That's great, and that's inspiring. I think that you deserve this.
That was easy.
Oh, that's great. So I think that for me that the more comfortable that I get with educating myself with what I should do to make the choices and decisions that I need to make, that money mindset is a lot easier to process. I'd like to get to the other side of the the confusion. I mean, I particularly don't have any issues about like I don't deserve money or anything like that. And there's this one story I just have to say real quick, and then I got to go. When I was working in this organization, it was a personal growth and development organization. The guy, there was a woman actually that we were talking about money, and so the conversation came up, and this woman was crying as we were talking about this money, and so obviously she had something going on, like we couldn't figure it out. She just kept crying. And then finally, the guy that was facilitating, he asked her, he says, if you don't mind, we're talking about money and it's very inspirational and we're trying to like shift the mindset, and you're the only one in the room crying. And I just want to know, I mean, we talk about transparency and keeping things open, and she's like, yeah, I know. She said, my father died and left me $6 million. Right. And she goes, but that's not the problem. She said, every month I get these statements in the mail and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And all the people, I don't have a relationship that I want to be in a relationship, but everybody that I want to be in a relationship, they only want my money. We're all like, she's got a big problem.
Uh-huh. Well,
Great.
like people say, there's this controversy, right? If money can make you happy. Well, I always answer that question by saying, money was never designed to make you happy. Money was designed to help you with financial problems. True happiness comes from within, right? It comes from your personal power and how you feel about yourself. So money was never designed to make you happy. Only you can do that, and only you can find true happiness. So let's leave the money for financial problems, right?
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what we should do.
Keep it over in that box and not worry about it. Make sure you
It's in a world all by itself.
Yeah.
It's in a world the power of money is in the world all by itself. And of course, I don't like to say money, but I like to say wealth, because wealth and riches is far more than just currency, right? We're not talking about just a currency paper, okay? Because if you can take $1 right now and put fire to it, it burns, okay? So obviously it's not really true wealth, because it can burn and vanish before your eyes. But if you put money to gold, it only purifies it. So that tells you where the true wealth is.
There you go. Thank you. That's great. Well, this was wonderful. I want to invite you back again. I would like to have, like, ideally a regular schedule, like, once every, I don't know, month, couple weeks, whatever, because I'm going to start back up doing my interviews and doing the Q&A sessions. So think about it, and please come back, and we'll do it again.
Okay, sure.
Sherique, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And from all of our members, I'm sure they're going to watch probably later. But anyway, those of you who are watching or will watch, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it from all of us here in the Self-Achievement Network. Remember to stay inspired and have fun. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye, Sherique. Take care.